best spins. Bow staff training at home for beginners. You're going to start with your hand in the middle of the staff and put some tape on this staff so that you can see one side is different from the other side. This helps sometimes when we train in person for you to figure out what it is that I'm doing so that you can learn it faster. You're just going to turn it from side to side. You hold it directly in the middle of your staff. You're spinning just to get the blood flowing, just to warm everything up, get the muscles ready, stay safe from injury. After about 30 seconds in one hand, you're going to put it into your other hand. I'm going to adjust a little bit and do the same thing, just turning from side to side. This is going to start to stress your forearms a little bit, which means they're going to grow stronger. Anytime you are challenged and you struggle a little bit and you don't give up, that's when you grow. Doing side to side, 30 seconds here. Getting warmed up so you don't injure yourself when we start to work out. Now you're going to go in one hand, back to the other hand. Your pinkies come together. Your palm is facing the sky. Side to side. Slow is smooth. Smooth is going to become faster. Tuck your chin. Pull your stomach up and in. Keep your abs tight. Texan Ryder, good morning. It's good to see you. Going side to side. Starting to build more power, more flexibility, more strength in your forearms, in your grip. Hello, Gabriel. It's good to see you. Nice to see you again also. Good morning. Robin is here. Good evening, Robin. As we train here in the global dojo, virtual dojo, all around the world, it's morning, noon, and night everywhere all at once. We're going side to side. Now I want you to put it in your right hand. You're going to pull it out to the side. Diddly Vibes is here. This is good morning. Good to see you. You're going to the side of your body. I'll turn to the side so you can see what it looks like. But you do this so that you can start to build strength in the shoulders, especially when we start to go behind the back and overhead. Jin Max 10 is here. Hello, Jin Max 10. It's good to see you. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoy working with the martial arts weapons. That lets me know to make more of these. We'll do a lot of this if you want. This is a beginner video and it goes into kind of advanced curriculum as you get better at the basics. Do a little bit of everything. After 30 seconds there, put it in the other hand directly to the side of the body. Getting a good proper warm up. Hello, Garen. It's good afternoon where Garen is. It's good to see you. Again, pull your stomach up and in, drop your chin a little bit. Always keep the other hand up. Don't let it dangle. Make sure it's in a protected position. Even though these spins are not necessarily for self-defense, they'll make you stronger at self-defense. You always want to develop the habit of keeping your hands up. Fight from behind your guard. Now from here, the next one goes directly overhead. You're going to do that same turning motion. It's the same one you started with. It's the same one we did this side. Now you're going overhead. You're doing it this way, and you're going to feel it very much in the back of your shoulder. The shoulder muscle has three parts or three heads. You have the front, the side, and the back. This is going to hit the back. This is going to make you very strong. You're going to get really comfortable with the staff overhead. When you start to go overhead behind the back, it's going to be a lot easier for you. Put it into the other hand, and same thing. Just spinning 30 seconds here. Stomach up and in, abs tight, tuck your chin, keep the other hand up. And now you're going to go from one hand into the other hand, and we do it the same way. Hello, Thomas. Nice to see you. Thomas says he's enjoying the video. Thomas, I'm glad you're here. Damien's here. Damien said he used to be extremely nervous. It's funny how the better you get at something, because you don't give up, you don't quit, the easier it is, the more your confidence grows. That's all confidence and self-esteem knows. It's two different things. Confidence is one thing, self-esteem is something else. They live in the same neighborhood though. Confidence is about practice, 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 get good at it. Self-esteem is about struggle. Struggle and don't quit. Learn how you are as a person. Learn about yourself. That's where self-esteem comes from. You need confidence and self-esteem. You can have one without the other, but both make you really strong. Hello, Sport Johnson. Good morning. Thank you. said working out again. I'm glad you're working out again. All right, now in your right hand with your right foot forward, remember that's why I put this 2 different colored tapes here. I want you to lead with one side and make a circle on the side of your body. So if I turn this way, you can see you're making a circle on one side of the body, and then you're gonna make a circle on the other side of the body. So you're coming 1, 2. You're making your figure 8 or your infinity sign. It's a sideways figure 8, slow as smooth, smooth as fast. Take your time, but you're gonna carve down. Make a circle over here, make a circle over here. So it's going from one side to the other side, leading with your thumb. When you do the forward spin, you're pushing, you're striking forward. Other hand is up, stomach up and in, drop your chin a little bit. Work it around your body. Slow it down one more time so you can see 2 different colors there. And then speed it up. When you want to go faster, squeeze your muscles in your belly and turn your hips and your shoulders a little bit. And you can play around with where your hand is. Start low, medium, high, as long as there's not a ceiling above you. I knew I was gonna hit it, I wasn't sure when. But that's what I want you to practice. Then put it into the other hand. Barton Tom says, thank you for the beginner video. Thank you for watching, thanks for being here. Side to side. I do get criticism from time to time. People telling me to shut up, quit talking to the people as they come into the live chat. But honestly, I won't. My wife will tell you, you can't tell me anything. But more importantly than that, I enjoy it. I enjoy you being here so much. I want to see what you're saying. That's how I learn and grow too. A lot of times I learn from you as much as you learn from me. I learn what you're interested in. I learn what's important to you and what's important to me. And sometimes you tell me things I don't know. You're going from one side to the other. That's the value and the great power of this global virtual dojo that we all belong to. It's not just my virtual dojo, it's our virtual dojo. It's yours as much as mine. You're going from side to side. Get that hand up, stomach up and in, abs tight when you're ready to go faster. Squeeze your gut. Small moves in your shoulders and hips. And then put it in your right hand and go to the front and the back of your body. That's why these are the best spins. Bow staff training at home for beginners, because you're working the front of the body and the back of the body. Steve's here. Steve, it's good to see you. Slow as smooth, smooth as fast. Brandon Wong, nice to see you. Brandon asked, how do I exercise other than martial arts? You can see in the reflection in the mirror on the wall. We've got exercise bands, a lot of jump rope. I'll jump rope 10 minutes every day. Kettlebells over there in the corner. In the back room, I do use some dumbbells. I'll get on the ground. I'll do some traditional moves. I like to do exercises, Brandon, that include every part of the body and are functional. So I don't want looking muscles. I just don't want to look muscular. I want to be able to hit somebody hard. I want to be able to defend myself and my family with my strength. So I exercise not just to stay younger, longer, but I'm always looking for how can I generate more power in a kick, a punch, an elbow, a knee, using my martial arts staff. So if it doesn't make me stronger and faster and more agile, I don't do it. Going to the front and the back, front and the back. Now, those are all your figure 8 spins going forward. Now you're gonna pull up with the opposite side. When you learn the best spins, this is the forward motion. This is another reason for the tape on the staff. So you can see when I change directions, now I'm pulling up. This is where we were before. Now we're going in the opposite direction, pulling with the small side of the hand to the front and the back, stomach up and in, abs tight. Put your right foot forward. Staff is in your right hand. A lot of you will find that you'll spin faster in the reverse. You'll actually be a little bit stronger with these moves. After 30 seconds here, put it in the other hand, pulling it up and out. When you learn the best spins, bow staff training at home for beginners, I want you to be able to Be very ambidextrous. I want the staff to flow from one hand to the other one, and you're spinning. And then when you defend yourself with it, you'll be strong on every plane of motion, every part of your body. From here, put it into the right hand, and take the right hand to the side of the body and go to the front and to the back. You can see this purple tape, since it's the pinky side and the purple tape's on the bottom, that's what's leading. It's pulling out and up. And the orange side is simply following it. And that's just one way to look at it, because both are true at the same time. It's a problem with fake platitudes, right? Whatever's true is also untrue. Speed it up when you're ready. Slow it down when you need to. Put it in the other hand. Hello, Peter. Yeah, Peter's asking about the practicality. I'm assuming you mean for self-defense. The smaller staff, I feel, is more practical for self-defense. The nice thing about the long staff is you have incredible reach. You can hit somebody out there. Watch this bounce. This is something important I don't talk about that much. This is a rattan staff. It's very lightweight. It's more of a Kung Fu style, or Chinese style staff. My favorite staff is made out of hickory. It's a self-defense staff. It does not bounce. I picked this one today because of the tape. I wanted you to see on these spins. When we spin, I like to show you what's really happening. If you need a staff, there's a link below. You can see what the dimensions are. For self-defense, Brandon, I really like a 54-inch staff, the medium size, the Japanese Okinawan Joe. This is called the bow. In Indian styles, Salam Bomb. You can try not to hit the ceiling again. You can see there's a lot of different ways to use the staff. And not one is better than the other. It's not right, it's not wrong, it's just different. Always remember that. Don't get caught up in the lies that martial arts sometimes tell ourselves that this style is superior or that style is superior. It's not good, it's not bad, it's different. If you take that approach and get your ego out of the way, you'll learn everything. Now, we've done all the spins, front, back, front, side. I want to go from one hand into the other hand. We're going to go pinky to pinky, palms up. When you go to the opposite side of your body, this is your left hand. Your right hand is going to come behind it, pinky to pinky. Comes to your opposite side. The left hand comes behind it. When you can, take a step forward. Take a step forward with the other foot. We'll say this is the front. You're just stepping one, stepping two. You can start to move forward, move backward. You can go for a run, however you want to do it, but I want you to move your body more as you get better, moving your staff through space and time. Bow staff spins, the top or best bow staff spins. Bow staff training at home for beginners require that you get physically stronger. Moving forward with a step or two, front and back. Oh, hello, Peter, it's good to see you. Feeling gross? Oh, Grüße. Yeah, in Germany. Peter, I was practicing German this morning. Front and back. Little small steps. I do my Spanish for 15 minutes, and then I usually have an extra 5 or 10 minutes. I'll throw in German or Russian. I've been doing a lot more Russian lately. I used to love that in college. And then French. My neighbor here in the shopping center is a Frenchman. He's a good friend and a good man. And every time I go in, they're speaking to me in French. So I want to speak in French. So you're going side to side. Now, you were going forward, taking it behind it. When you go in the reverse, your hand is going to take it on the same side. This is your right hand. Your left hand comes across your body, slides under, pinky to pinky, palms up, comes out. Now it's on the left side. The right hand has to go in front. Now you're spinning in reverse from hand to hand, and it's the same as before. Taking a couple steps forward, a couple steps back. Hopefully, you'll start to break a sweat. You'll sweat a little bit. Pick and Duck has been learning Esperanto. Yes, because it's peasant language. I love that. Esperanto. There's a lot of Esperanto spoken around here. One hand to the other. A lot of Creole, too. There's a lot of Creole down here. The Haitian speak. It's a really fascinating blend of French and other languages. All right, so yeah, Peter says you'll be multilingual if you keep practicing. Peter, I feel like it's one of the best ways to keep your brain young. And it's just interesting to me. I've always been fascinated with languages. Love Korean. I can read Korean better than I can speak it. So you went from one hand to the other hand, pulling it out, turning your shoulders, turning your hips, keeping your chin tucked, pushing yourself to get stronger and faster with every move. Get out of your comfort zone. If you don't get out of your comfort zone, you can't grow. I want you to be challenged. I want you to struggle and not quit. That's why I like the languages. Actually, it's a mental exercise, like mental push-ups. Where I am with the Spanish, I've gotten so advanced that it's really hard for me to get through a session because I have to really, really force myself. And it's not pleasant all the time. I don't really like it. But I like the results. If you want to know the key to success in life, progress, focus on the results. Don't focus on the work. When you focus on the work, you only do the easy things and you'll never get anything good. If you focus on the results that you want, you can suffer through the hard work. Then you're going to get those results. Now, I want you to go overhead and go from one side to the other. Now, you did this at the beginning in front of your body. Now you're going overhead from one side out to the other one. Stomach up and in, abs tight, tuck your chin. Leave your hands up there until your shoulders start to burn. And then keep going until you feel it in your forearms, and your forearms start to get tight. And then keep going until you're starting to feel a little nauseous, a little lightheaded, because your hands are up here and it hurts. And then just keep going, right? And then take your right hand behind your back and turn your thumb up. Your left hand is going to come under the right hand and pull it out. Then your left hand is going to whip up over your head again, and notice that your elbow is straight. The key to not hitting yourself in the head when you go above your head and behind your back, you'll hit on the other side. The key is keeping your elbow straight. So lift it up, pull it out, drop it, your elbow straight, turn it, elbow straight, turn, turn. It's just behind the back and over the head. And if you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe if you haven't already. Put in the comment section what you're working on, what's important to you, so that we can grow as a virtual dojo. I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. And I can't say this enough because I teach this class in person all the time. And the biggest challenge that I see is when we get to overhead behind the back, you start speeding it up too fast. You start rushing it because you want to try to make it look a certain way, and your elbows start to bend. And when your elbows bend, you hit yourself in the head. When your elbows bend here as you come down and it spins too fast, you hit yourself in the back of the head, or you hit yourself in the ankle or the calf. So what I want you to do is slow down. Now go the other way. Make sure the elbows are straight and do the work. Slow as smooth, smooth as fast is mostly true on this one. Or it's more true on this one, or however you want to say that. Overhead, behind the back, and now in your hand, and here we come back to the true takes. I want you to open it and let it rest on the back of your wrist. Kind of find your balance point. And then turn your hand over so that your palm is facing away from you as you grab it. James, I just saw it. Sometimes I see them, but I'm too far away, and my eyes are getting old, so I can't read it. It's also on the phone. It's like this big, so I have to get too close. Sometimes if I'm yakking too much, I miss it. It's not a perfect science over here. I need a cameraman and a studio and all that other good stuff. But before that, I need to pay for the lights, keep the lights on. That's why I really appreciate you guys being here. It's pennies, but they add up when we start to train together. You watch a video and it shows an ad here and there, and I know they can be annoying. but just know that it keeps this thing going. Yeah, this is the Darth Maul stuff. Arcanus says this is basically Darth Maul. Ray Park is the actor who played Darth Maul. He's an amazing martial artist, great stunt fighter, great fight choreographer, and he works with the staff really well. And so a lot of the moves from Darth Maul, I mean, he goes spinning, he finishes here, he spins. It's real basic stuff. So if you want to fight like Darth Maul, learn this spinning. This is it. This is the stuff. So these are wrist rolls, right? So you just turn your thumb up, open the hand, turn your thumb over and catch it. Then go back the other way, turn the pinky up, turn your hand. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Take your time with it. I don't remember which way I just went. There we go. So you're just going to one side, back the other side. When you're ready, you can speed it up. And I haven't done it yet, but I will. There we go. I'll drop it. Every time you drop your staff, pick it up. The only way you can quit is if you lose. Or no, the other way around. The only way you lose is if you quit. I have that written everywhere. Every morning I write my gratitude list. I write my standards that I need to live by. I write my goals for the day. I write my to-do list that support those goals, that lift up those standards, that makes me thankful for all the things that I have. But at the very top of the page, I write 2 lines. One day I'll tell you the first line. It's not that exciting. But the second line is, I cannot lose if I do not quit. And that's been the key to my life. I'm not smarter than other people. I just stay with the problem longer. And that's not my quote either. That's an Einstein quote. Einstein said that, not me. He said he's not smarter than anybody. He just stays with the same problem so long that he figures it out. Arcanus says he thinks his staff isn't weighted evenly. Good. I hope it's not, so that you have to struggle. Because when you struggle and you don't quit, you get better faster. It's better to have bad equipment. I saw the other comment that you're getting your sticks together for self-defense. Excellent. Good work. Don't wait until everything's perfect. Get started with what you've got. Pick up a broomstick. Oh, good. Old school student Ishinru, James says. Welcome. We're doing some Ishinru forms this week. Some old kata. I love old kata. Ishinru, Shorinru. I do a bunch of old Shotokan stuff. A lot of it's stylized now. I'm not as patient as I used to be. But you're going back of the hand. Now, that's the wrist roll. You know how to wrist roll to the front and to the back. Now, you're going to go back to your figure 8 spin from side to side, one hand to the other. And when you get it in one hand, you're going to wrist roll and wrist roll. So now you're just weaving together your skills. This is your right hand. When you're on the right side of your body, it's going to wrist roll over the pinky side, the small side of your hand. When you're on the left side, it's going to wrist roll over your thumb. So one side to the other one, tuck the chin, stomach up and in, get the other hand up. When you're ready, go faster. Dropping it is a good sign. That means that you're growing, you're getting better. If you never drop it, you're never going faster. There we go. You're never pushing yourself. You stop growing, you start dying. At 71, you can tell me better than I know, right? You stop growing, you start dying. It's better to stay. That's why I do the languages every morning. They're hard for me, but it forces me to grow. It's out of my comfort zone. That's on my standards. Every day I've got to get out of my comfort zone. And that doesn't mean you go bungee jumping every day. That means you go up and you talk to new people when you feel embarrassed. Yeah, it's like learning juggling, Picking Duck says. One hand to the other one. Hello, Peter. It's good to see you. Missed the beginning. How long is this staff? This is a 6-foot bow, 72 inches. I don't know what it is in metric. You can Google it. But, and here's the rule for the bow. Traditionally, it would be 72 inches. But traditionally, according to whom? The companies that sell them? Century Martial Arts? Yeah, that's how that comes about. But think about how tall you are. So you might be 5.5 feet tall. You would want a staff that's about 5.5 feet tall, maybe a little bit shorter, a little bit taller. I'm 6'1". I'm standing on thick mats right now, so I'm sinking down. This is on the top. So this one is about the same height as me. If I were on hard ground, you'd see it's a little bit shorter than me, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, Google, somebody put in the comment section, please, if you would, not just the chat, but in the comment section, how long is 72 inches? I always forget to do that. But you can go to, there's a first link below, you'll see my favorite self-defense staff. And self-defense is very different. My self-defense staff is extremely strong, heavy, durable. It's made out of hickory. And the dimensions are below if you want to see what that looks like. It's the first link in the description. I highly recommend it. If you need a staff, that's a good place to start. It'll cost you about 90 bucks, I think, but you'll never buy more than one. You'll never need another one. So you're going from side to side because you won't break it. You get a cheap martial arts staff, one of these red oak staffs that's all dried out inside. They break all the time. All right, so you went side to side, hand to hand. You can also, if you want, do that. Spin as you switch. However you want to do that. You can do the reverse spin. As you switch is where you would do the other wrist roll in the reverse. Now the finger roll. So this is bow spins, or best spins. That's what we're calling it. Best spins, bow staff training at home for beginners. I always want you to do this. 1.82 meters, Nate says, is a 6-foot staff. Thank you. So a 1.82 meter bow. Okinawan, more Okinawan than Japanese, really. Speaking of the Ishinryu, Shorinryu, Shotokan. So you're going to round the fingers. And what I want you to do is extend and flexion and, what's the other one? Extension. Flexion is extension. Yeah, extending. Anytime you start to get a lot of pain in your elbow from overuse, like tendonitis, tennis elbow, you'll get that with bow spinning. The best way to defeat it is to strengthen the flexors. The flexors are the ones that open the hand. I have bands that go around my fingers and open. When you buy broccoli or asparagus at the grocery store here in the United States, usually it comes with a big, thick purple rubber band around it. A lot of people wash the broccoli, throw that in the trash. I keep them, stick them on my fingers, and make my forearms stronger. So you can do that. That's a very inexpensive way. Next time you buy some fresh broccoli, save the band. Use it in your fingers. But you can also do this bow spinning. This is continuous finger spinning. The thumb stays out of it. Now, I'm going to put the thumb in it, and 3 fingers are to come together. And it's almost like that wrist roll. I'm just balancing over the back of those fingers. You're going to grab it with your thumb. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the purpose of this variation of the finger spin with the thumb involved is when you start to spin, you can now add finger rolls. Throw in a wrist roll, finger roll, and you've just woven in another skill into the other ones you do. Hello, James. Do I know anybody who teaches cane fighting? I do. I teach it all the time. Let me see. Look at that. This is my favorite fighting cane. This is the dojo training cane. I teach this quite a bit. The spinning, that's just the warm up, but I teach you how to strike, how to use this hook, how to change direction, snap it up, bring it across the face. We've got a padded version, and we'll stress test it. I want you to know that it works. But yes, I teach cane self-defense with the Cane Masters canes. That's that first link below. Go down there, you can see my Cane Masters bow, but I also have a full line of the Cane Masters self-defense canes. And I have, I think, 350 videos on this channel just on how to use the cane for self-defense. So yeah, that's my favorite carry with you anywhere you go weapon, because you can't carry that. You can go walking in the woods with this. You can even hike down the street most places, but you're gonna have a hard time getting this on the airplane. That cane Take it wherever you go. No one's gonna stop you. They're not even gonna ask you 90% of the time. And if they do, you can tell them, hey, that's my personal business, because the HIPAA laws say that they can't ask you. All right, so we have those finger rolls into this figure 8 spinning, going from one hand to the other one. I don't know if you picked up on that, but I just did that wrist roll with an extra thumb in it. We'll go over that on another time. We went over the head, we went behind the back. Oh, butterfly spins. I want you to struggle on the butterfly spin. This is elusive to so many people, and it's only because it's a difficult move, and that's good. I like that. I want it to be hard for you. I want you to struggle, but I don't want you to give up. Now here's the butterfly. The key is the thumbs. When it's in your left hand, put your right hand directly over top so that your wrists are in contact. You're gonna turn your thumb up and see how it just slides in there nice and neat into your thumb. There's your butterfly. Pull your left hand out of the way. See, it's in the way, it won't let me turn. Get it out of the way. Turn the right hand palm facing out or thumb down. The left hand pops over to take it, just like you did on your wrist roll. Takes it, left hand gets out of the way, wrists together again, the right hand turns palm up so that it can slide into your thumb. That's the butterfly spin. You're coming over the top, slow as smooth, smooth as fast, take your time. Play around with which hand's on top. This is my right hand on top. If I put the left hand on top, I'm gonna go in the other direction. Bring your hands apart. And now it's not the butterfly spin, it's become the skip bow or skip catch. Skip bow is that kid's card game. Skip catch reminds me of Uno. Bring it back together, and you're back into the butterfly spin. James says that he broke his back, karate is over. James, I'm sure that's why you're looking for the cane. Just type in my last name, Pasquinilli cane, how to use the cane or whatever. You'll get a whole bunch of videos. And I break it down as simply as I can make it. I'm not doing all this fancy dancy spinning when it comes to the cane. I just want you to learn how to use that thing so that it works for self-defense. If it doesn't work, I don't want to teach it, right? There are two reasons to do this kind of stuff. One is three. Esoteric value, right? The interesting value, the way it looks, right? Or the way it feels, the way it challenges your mind and helps you grow and brings you peace. And then there's the physical benefit, right? Gets you in shape, gets you stronger. And then there's the aesthetics, the way it looks. But when I teach self-defense, I'm just looking for practicality. If it doesn't work, I don't want to teach it. I don't care if it's aesthetically pleasing. I don't care if it's esoterically interesting. I don't even care if it's good physical exercise, although I know it will get you moving around again. All I want to know is if you can take that walking cane for self-defense, shove it up between his legs, or thrust it through his throat for self-defense. Good afternoon, Andy. It's good to see you. Just coming over the top. Butterfly spin. Good, Awkward the Cat. It's good to see you live again too. Yeah, wish we didn't have to wish we didn't have to defend ourselves, but we do. You're right. Just over the top. There's your butterfly spin. And again, you want to open the hands up a little bit so the wrists are not touching. Practice your skip catch. And then drop it. And every time you drop it, pick it up. Usually I find I start to get tired toward the end of my session, I start to drop it more, and that is good, right? That's when you grow. You grow when you start to get a little bit tired. What kind of walking stick would I recommend? Andy, I really like, go to that first link below. You'll see this size staff, but then you'll see the shorter one. Or make your own. Make your own. Let me show you this real quick. I know this isn't the bow. And I know you guys worked hard on that today, but I like this length. This is the Joe. The Joe has a lot of its own value, own features. This style, you know, there's striking here, striking here. You can thrust, you can strike, pushing. There's also a spinning that can happen if you don't have tall ceilings. You can do all the spins with the bow using a Joe instead. So this is 54 inches. It's a little bit shorter. It's in that link below. Just got to explore it a little bit. But here it is. I've been making a lot of these this week. A lot of my clients here who come just for self-defense, they don't care about martial arts. They're not interested in learning old style stuff, which I'm totally fine with. They want to know, how do I defend myself with a walking stick? This is a 36-inch hanbo. This is called the hanbo, the Okinawan or Japanese hanbo. And this, in this position, you can slide your hand down the back, thrust, you can strike, you can thrust here, you can use it from one hand over, just like you do a lot of the other martial arts staff, changing positions, right? So it has that value, and it's much smaller. It's easier to take with you. Slide your hand down the front. Now it's like a bokken or a sword, right? You can use two hands on it. You can use one hand on it. You can switch hands easily, bring it through. It's got great reach. You can hear it's got lots of speed because it's smaller. But this is a 36-inch dowel rod. Remember I said make your own? Go to Lowe's or Home Depot, buy one of these, and I want to show you the key. You need three things. You need, oh, this is the back room. This is where all the junk is. So you need a 36-inch dowel. And then, look at this. I picked this up at the Home Depot. These normally go on a block, but it was so inexpensive and it was on sale. But it's 6 pieces, and there's 80 grit. Andy, thank you. Andy said we have a great channel here for self-defense on the walkie stick. But it's got 3 pieces of sandpaper. It has 80 grit, which is this dark colored one. That's gonna take material off. When you first get this, it's kiln dried, and it'll say it's sanded, but it's not gonna be smooth. If you went up and down with your hand tight, you're gonna get splinters. This is gonna take off the splinters. This is 80 grit. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, P80 right there. And then you'll do that for like 30 seconds per side. What I do is I just put my, like this. You see the dust coming off? I don't know if you can see that or not. This is 120 next. This is oak, Andy. 120, don't get poplar. Poplar's too soft. It'll break too easily. Oak will not. And especially when I show you the last part, which is really important. This is P120. I don't know what the P stands for, but 120 is gonna make it smooth. 80 will take off the splinters. 120 makes it smooth. And then this is 220. That's what's gonna make it really buttery smooth, right? Once you've done that, then you get yourself some of this. Yeah, Peking Duck said he bought the 1x36. That's what this is. 1 inch round. Some stores, they paint red on the end. It's orange, I think, if it's 1.25 inches, red if it's 1 inch. Some are not painted. Yeah, so the wood, this piece I bought from Lowe's here in the States. You can get it at any do-it-yourself store in Europe. Home Depot, they don't paint the ends for some reason, because I picked up 2 3 days ago from Home Depot because I'm making the Tanbo. A lot of people buy the Tanbo from me and I mail it to them. Yeah, poplar gets bent and chipped really fast just because it's so light. Thank you, Tim. Thanks for being here. Boiled linseed oil. This stuff, I've had this for years. It will last you a long time. Now, one thing that I've learned recently from one of you who does woodworking is that a lot of these products are being made, surprise, surprise, right, by the manufacturer with heavy metals in them. So you must wear gloves. I don't always because I'm an idiot, but you're supposed to. Wear gloves when you're messing with this stuff so it doesn't absorb into your skin. You should be wearing a rebreather and the gloves and all that stuff. This stick was $7.76 this week when I bought it at Home Depot. $7.76. Then a can of this is, I think, I don't remember exactly what, maybe $22, but this will last you years and years and years. In fact, if you can get a small one, get a small one. And it doesn't have to be boiled linseed, it can be any mineral oil. You can get like a smaller men wax, but then you're paying more for, oh, my hand's itchy. And then you soak it, and I'll show you. This is my secret process, right? Those are some Tanbos, some 18-inch self-defense sticks that I teach. I've got a lot of orders from that, both here in person. I've got a self-defense class coming up where we'll use those. Yeah, and you can decorate it. You can carve your initials into it. You can use a, cutting board oil is really good. Awkward Cat says. You can use, you can even paint it. You can stain it. You can do anything you want with it. It's just a stick. It's your stick. It's your walking stick. And then it'll look more and more like a walking stick the more you decorate it. And less people will even ask you what it is. But soak it for a couple days, and you just need an old rag or an old t-shirt, or you get a bag of rags or whatever. That's got a lot of sawdust on it. Pull the sawdust from the sand off. Oh, one other thing I do is I use a file to bevel the edges. So you can, so the purpose of the oil, that's the most important part. When these come from the store or the factory, lumberyard, mill, wherever they're made, they kiln dry it. And the kiln process is a low heat for a long time that sucks all the moisture out of the wood so that it doesn't rot and it doesn't get bugs. But it's also brittle. So when you get it, you have to soak it in the oil. And you can take a rag and you put oil in the rag and you put it on your stick, and you do that every day for the first couple weeks, just a little bit. Yeah, and you can leave it uncoated. But if you don't start putting oil into it, when you hit something really hard, it's going to break because it's brittle. When the oil goes back into it, it looks like it comes back alive, like a tree. Now it's strong and flexible and heavier. So when it hits so much harder, and it's less likely to break if you keep it properly oiled. Once you oil it for 2 weeks every day, then oil it every other week, and then oil it every month, and then oil it every other month, and then you'll have to oil it just a couple times a year, especially if you're using it all the time. Good. Pekin Duck said he's going to put some things in comments. Please leave me comments too. I really appreciate when you guys do that because it really helps this channel grow. And since the pandemic started, it's been hard for me to run a martial arts school like it is every other martial artist around the world. And I'm blessed. I feel blessed for you because I know that half of my industry in this country, over half, 55%, went out of business and never came back. And in some places, they just never can come back because they keep shutting them down for whatever their reasons are. Thankfully, I live in a state where we have a lot more freedom and support from the administration, the government here, the local government, the governor, not the guy standing with the whatever. We won't get into that. Anyway, so oil it up really well so it becomes super strong and flexible and heavier, so that when you strike, you're able to use it for self-defense, right? And that's the purpose of the oil. The oil is probably the most important part first, is that you don't get splinters stuck in your hand. So sand it really well. But it'll only take you like 2 minutes to sand it really well. Second, oil that thing really well. If you want to add the bevel on the end, I do that just because I like it to be able to slide through my hand when I start to do certain training with it. And when I teach you how to do certain moves, right? I want it to flow. I want it to be awesome. So we add that little bevel in the end. But you don't have to do that. You can also use the file to sand that part down a little bit and then hit it with the sandpaper. But it'll only take you 10 minutes to make a really beautiful self-defense staff. And the longer you soak it in that mineral oil, the darker, the richer it'll come. The oak will start to come out. If you can get this in hickory, I would go for hickory. I just can't find it locally anyplace. Peter says, thanks for the practical, great advice. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please put in the comment section below if you've made a staff, any length, whether it's the 36-inch staff, the 54-inch Joe, or the 6-foot bow. And again, the length doesn't matter as much. The traditional length of a walking stick is that the tip of it, which is the same for the cane, let me grab the cane, it comes up to the bend in your wrist. And that's for ergonomic reasons. So if we measured this, and I'm standing up straight, that would come to about where my wrist is, and that's traditional, that's 36 inches. and the walking cane. The walking stick is the same thing. A hiking pole or a trekking pole is a little bit longer. Oh, thank you, Michael. I really appreciate you joining. Michael just became a member. Awesome. What about, Peking Duck asked, what about mounting the tactical parts like the bezel and the flashlight? You can do that. You can dress these up a lot. You can get one of these type of tips. I just got this at the CVS. Anytime you go into a grocery store, to the pharmacy, wherever you have a pharmacy, you'll see there's a little like roller display where they have canes, walking canes, and they have all different types, but they'll always have these tips that you can buy. And you can put that, because it's the same diameter, you can put that on one of these. And then it looks even more like a walking stick, and it won't chew up the end of your wood. Other people will find a way to put a little metal knob on the top of this. So you can put this little metal knob and it looks more like a shillelagh, which is also, I was gonna show you the shillelaghs. We'll do those on another one. But you can put, and then that would add a little weight maybe, and they make them, you can buy them. I forget what they're called, but it's like just a little knob that goes on the tip. In fact, if you know what the knob is called on a walking cane, I keep thinking finial, but I think that's for the curtains or something. But you get a little knob, you can get the little metal ones and put it on there with a little tap the nail in, and then you have like a hard brass handle. That would, for self-defense, make it very effective and very practical. Then you slide down and you strike, and you can strike that way, bring it up over the top of the head. But there are different ways to decorate it, and it's yours. Do whatever you want with it, right? Make it an expression of yourself, because as you train, you find that these become an expression of your soul, right? An extension, almost like a third arm. It becomes just an extension of your body that you use for self-defense. So you might as well decorate it, put your initials in it, get one of those burning things. But if you're not, like I'm not super creative that way, so mine are just, yeah, that'd be a fancy stick, Awkward the Cat says. Mine all just look like sticks. But in my neighborhood, every morning there's a 74-year-old man. He might be 80 now. I keep calling him 74, but he's way older than 74. Really great guy. He's a former police officer, 3 different careers as a police officer. Police chief several places or a couple places. But this guy carries a riot baton that's this exact same length, and it's a little bit thicker, and it's a lot heavier. And he walks around the neighborhood like this with it. No one's intimidated, no one feels, but he carries it because we have wild animals sometimes in the neighborhood. He walks his dogs. There are other people with animals they don't control. He has some concern about that, but he doesn't when he carries this. If he feels off balance, he puts it down as a walking stick. So you can carry this and you bring it with you anywhere and everywhere you go. And most people are never going to ask you about it. And if they do, tell them whatever you want. It's my walking stick. I use it to scratch my back and my neck. I'm bringing this home. I do decorative arts. I'm making some decorative things for my kids. I'm making some, I don't know, whatever you want to tell them. Or don't tell them anything. Tell them it's your right not to tell them anything. It's just a stick. You like to carry a stick for self-defense. But if you want to use it as a walking stick, it's the perfect length. And you make it yourself. That's the best part. Make your own, right? Get the 36-inch dowel rod. Get 3 pieces of sandpaper, 80, 120, 220. Do each one for at least 30 seconds to a minute. Oil it up really, really well, and there you go. For less than $10, the whole thing will cost you, it's an art, tell them it's an arts and crafts project. The whole thing will cost you less than $10. You guys have been awesome. I'll see you in just a little bit. Please put in the comments section below if you've made your own self-defense staff, any length, or stick, and what material it was made out of, and what the process was like. Share with us so we can learn from each other. You guys have been awesome. We'll see you in a little bit. Thank you.